Good morning, guys. Got my Bible back. I'm excited, so I'm back to it. Sorry that I stunk this week, but I'm back to it now. So, 3 John, chapter 1, because there's only one chapter, verse 11. Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God. All right, so I'll read it one more time. Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God. All right, this is as simple as a message as you could possibly get here, right? Don't do evil, do good. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I think so much of the time we try to focus our thoughts, our energy, our effort, our time on thinking about the harder to understand things. We think about predestination. We think about the Trinity. We think about controversial topics. We think about what we see as contradictions in the Old Testament, or like we think about all these things that are hard to understand, and that's where our time and our energy and our thoughts go. But I really believe that he's making things like this clear to us because he wants us to understand it, right? Why do we see this all like as literally as simply as it could be wrote, as easy for us to understand, written like this, and we see it all throughout the text? Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Why? Because it's important. Because he wants us to clearly understand that. And those other things, if he wanted us to understand them so clearly, and maybe he would have made them clearer to us, right? If he wanted us to have a good grasp on those things, but maybe those things aren't as important to have a good grasp on, right? And I'm not saying that, don't waste any time on those things. Like, no, of course, like, if you're curious about the word, go study those things, and that's awesome. And I'm curious about those things, and I'm in school for them, and I'm trying to learn about them too. So, I'm not saying that those things aren't important, because they are important. Everything in here is important. But I'm saying if all your time is going to things like that, and you're not getting a grasp on things that he's trying to make so clear to us, I think you're missing the point, right? This is more of the foundation. And I think that we have to keep coming back to this because he's making it clear, he's making it simple, and he's repeating it over and over throughout the text for a reason, because he wants us to understand these things, right? So that would be my warning to you. And then let's kind of break down what it's saying here. Do not imitate evil, but imitate good, right? And we've talked about imitating before, we talked about imitating Jesus, imitating Paul, the disciples. I think our society would tell us, don't try to be like anybody else, be yourself. Well, parts of me really suck. So I kind of want to look to people that are better than me and try to be like them to better myself, right? I think athletes say all the time, if you want to be successful, study success, right? Well, if you want to be you want to be stronger in your faith, you want to be more like Jesus, imitate people who are more like Jesus than you, who are farther along in their walk of faith than you. And so I've got a couple people in mind that I try to imitate, that I try to mimic, that I try to be like, because they're more mature in their faith than me. They're more Christ-like than I am, and I want to be more like them, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So I encourage you to think about who those people are in your life. And then it says, whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God. So it's this idea that the actions, the doing good, the doing evil, they come after whether you've met God or not, whether you've really entered into a relationship with God. So if you're not doing good, and if you are doing evil, then that's a sign that you have not seen God, that you don't really have faith with God. But if you put your faith in God and you've really met God, then it's not an issue. You don't do evil. You don't have to worry about that, because you are living a Christ-like life, right? And that's not to say that you won't sin. There's still going to be sin in your life, obviously, but that some of the differences, and we've talked about this before, is while the sin isn't just gone overnight, you start to kill some of the sin in your life, and you're progressing slowly or quickly to be more like Christ. And so your sin, you're actually remorseful for your sin. Your sin bothers you. You hate your sin. You've got a fear for Christ now. You have a different essence about you. Like you're happy. You're upbeat. Like there's all these different things, and I could send to you a list from one of my classes. But there's things that come along with being saved, and so you know that you've truly been saved. But if you're still living in the same sin and going back to the same sin over and over again, practicing the same sin, it's a sign that you really don't know Christ. So I know that was a way too long of a video for one verse, but I'm excited to have my Bible back. So have an awesome day.